Sports fans, welcome back to another episode of Bucky's Sports Show. Today we are going to be discussing the Braves homestand against the Angels and the Orioles. Braves were coming into this week. It was must-win situations across the board games. Let's go ahead and dive into it. Monday was an off day, so their week got started on Tuesday. This was kind of a crazy game. You had Grant Holmes starting for the Braves. He went 6 innings, no runs, 3 hits, 3 walks, struck out 10. The problem is he threw 106 pitches in 6 innings. He did not get very deep at all in that outing. You really need him to get deeper into that. Here's why. The Braves bullpen, Johnson came in the 7th. He threw a clean inning. No runs, no walk. The issue was the 8th inning. The Angels put up 4. Dylan Lee could only get 1 out in the inning. He gave up 3 runs, all earned, 2 hits, 1 walk. And then De Los Santos came in to finish the inning. He gives up 1 run, not earned, 2 hits, and a walk. Then Herget, he came in the 9th. He gave up a hit and 2 walks. Didn't give up a run though. And then the other issue is Braves has 7 hits. But they go 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position, and they leave 9 on base. Austin Riley was 3 of 4. Really, other than that, Braves didn't do too much. Olsen had a hit, Albies had a hit, H2 had a hit, and Allen had a hit. I don't understand what this offense is doing different this year. To me, it looks like when we get runners in scoring position, we eliminate all contact and start swinging for the fence. When there's an 0-2 count and we're trying to hit a home run instead of just put the ball in play to score a run, that is unacceptable. Someone has got to be held accountable. I don't know whose decision that is. If the player's making the decision to swing for the fence, he needs to be benched. If the hitting coach is telling them that, he needs to be let go. If it's Snitker telling him to do that, he needs to be let go. Someone has got to be held accountable. 0 for 7. They left 9 men on base. 0 for 7. The game was 4-0. 4-0 Angels. All 4 of their runs came in the 8th inning. But when the offense can't get a hit with runners in scoring position, that puts so much pressure on the Braves pitching. Braves pitching literally has to go out a perfect game. It is just it's absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. This started off, Angels scored 2 runs in the first. They got a 2-run single, and it was just starting off to be one of those games to where you say, uh-oh, because not only did they score 2 runs in the first, but the Braves had Didier Fuentes on the mound, who went 3 2/3 of an inning. Only runs he gave up were those 2. 4 hits, 3 walks, 6 Ks. His ERA now sets at 9. And Braves just could not get anything going. Just couldn't. But then in the 6th inning, you had Sean Murphy hit a 3-run home run. You had Matt Olson hit a grand slam. And you had the Braves put up 7 runs in 1 inning. And then you had in the bottom of the 7th, Jurickson Profar, who's coming off of an 80-game suspension. I don't even want to get started on this cat. But he hits a home run in his first game as a Brave at Truist. So in the matter of 2 innings, the Braves score 8 runs. Now they were 2 for 7 with runners in scoring position. They left 7 men on base. So outside of the 6th inning, they couldn't get a hit with a runner in scoring position. Thankfully, they can hit a home run every once in a while. This time they got lucky and had men on base. So the Angels added 1 run in the 9th to make the final 8-3. It's getting to the point you want to be happy about the wins, but being able to score only in 1 inning, it's such a disaster that you can feel what's coming later. And it should also be noted on Wednesday that we also found out that Spencer Schwellenbach has a hairline fracture in his right elbow, so he's going to be out for 2 months, if not the rest of the season. So now your best pitcher is probably done for the year. That's, if you're counting, that's 4 starting pitchers on the IL right now. Now, you can make the argument A.J. Smith-Shawver wouldn't have been there if Ronaldo Lopez wasn't hurt to begin with. Okay, it's still 3. 3 out of your 5 are still on the IL. And then Fuentes was just supposed to be a couple spot starts. Now you're throwing a kid in here who probably has no business being up. He's got an ERA of 9, and you have another hole to fill. You have to find another pitcher. So on top of the Schwellenbach news, on top of only being able to score, really they only scored on 2 hits. They hit 3 home runs in the game. That's all they scored on. 3 home runs. Thursday's game, I don't even know where to begin this one. This was Bryce Elder's start. He went 5 innings, 4 runs, 8 hits, 3 walks, 5 Ks, gave up 2 home runs. De Los Santos came in the 6th. He gave up a hit, a run, a walk, struck out 1 in his inning. And then Cox went 2 innings, no runs, 1 hit, 3 Ks. Iglesias came in. He went 1 inning, gave up just a hit, struck out 3 and struck out all 3 of his outs were strikeouts. He's getting better. They take him out of the closer spot, he gets better. His ERA is now down to 5.12 as of Thursday night. But again, the problem, Angels scored 3 in the first 2 innings. In the first, they got an RBI single. In the second, they got a 2-run home run. They had another home run in the 4th, and they had an RBI triple in the 6th. And then for the second straight game, Profar hits a home run in the 9th inning when it doesn't really matter. Now, Braves only have 4 other hits in that game. 4 other hits. Acuna, Olsen, Ozuna, Murphy. All singles. All single. Braves left 6 men on base. They didn't get a single runner into scoring position the entire night. Not a single runner. But we're going to trot out the exact same lineup the next night and see what happens again. Braves had an opportunity against a team that came in under 500, and they cannot secure a series victory. They can't secure a series victory. All right, let's go to Friday, Independence Day. If you like fireworks, I don't know why anyone does, but if you do, I hear they put on a pretty good show after the game, which is probably a pretty good thing because the Braves don't put on a show during the game. Strider went this game. He went 6 innings, 3 runs, 7 hits, 1 walk, struck out 6, gave up 2 home runs. 2 home runs. Now, for the last 2 seasons, Braves fans had to sit and watch Charlie Morton give up hit by pitches and home runs every 5 days. We watched that cat just suck it up. Now in 2021, Morton was really good, helped the Braves win the World Series. Very thankful for him for that. But the last 2-3 years, he was not very good in Atlanta, especially last year. But he made his comeback to Truist. And I was expecting the Braves offense, as much as they like to hit home runs, to be able to hit home runs. Well, Braves were able to put 2 runs on the board against him, and it was a home run. It was a 2-run home run by Drake Baldwin, but that's all they could do. Morton is 5-7 with a 5.47 ERA, and all they could manage with their lineup was a 2-run home run from Baldwin. Riley got a couple hits. Acuna got a hit. Profar got a hit. H2 got a hit, but 1 double by Riley and 1 home run from Baldwin was all the extra base hits they could manage. Now, he did hit 2 batters. Morton did hit Baldwin and Albies, so that kind of came to fruition. Everyone kind of knew that was going to happen. Braves color analyst had a bet with someone who it would be, and he got it right. But the Braves offense, 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position, left 6 men on base. This offense, there is something wrong with this offense. And again, we may trade in Baldwin for Murphy somewhere along there, but we're going to trot out the exact same lineup for the next day. Let's go look at Saturday. Was a little better. The problem with this game, in my opinion, is this was where Schwellenbach's start would have been. Everyone was kind of pushed up a spot because of the day off, so this is kind of where it would have fell in the where he would have been. So instead of bringing someone up, they tried a bullpen game, and it didn't go well. Bummer got the start. He went 2 1/3, gave up 3 runs, 2 hits, 1 walk, struck out 5, 2 home runs. The problem here is Bummer was really good through his first 9 guys. He gave up 1 home run in the top of the 3rd to the number 8 hitter. That was his only blemish to the first 9 guys. But they left him in. If you're going to do a bullpen game, your pitchers can only throw to a maximum of 9 hitters. They're not made to go 3-4 innings and face a whole bunch of guys. They need to see each batter one time, move on. But we went ahead and let him pitch to the top of the order too, and they were able to put 3 runs on the board off of him. All 3 of them via the home run. Gave up 2 home runs. Then Dodd came in. He wasn't very good either. He went 2 2/3. Gave up 2 hits, 2 runs, no walks, a strikeout, home run. Now his home run was a 2-run home run. So all of his runs there were on 1 swing. That is what it is. De Los Santos came in. He went 2/3 of an inning, gave up a walk, struck out one. Cox, 2/3 of an inning, 1 run, 2 hits, 2 strikeouts. Hernandez, 1 2/3 of an inning, 1 walk, 4 Ks. Iglesias came in. He walked a batter, struck out a batter. Montero, he came in. And this was in the 10th. I'll come back to this here in a minute. But he went 1 inning, gave up 3 runs, 2 earned on 2 hits, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Now for the Braves offense. Braves offense had home runs from Riley and Olson. Riley's home run got the game started in the first, put the Braves up 2-0. Olson's home run tied the game in the third after Baltimore had their home run outburst in the top of the third. Olson answered in the bottom with a solo shot. And then we started getting a couple, 2 or 3 hits with runners in scoring position. Olson had an RBI single. Riley followed that up with a double. Matt Olson was called out at home on a bang play. Their catcher actually kind of got hurt, had to leave the game after the inning. In the 6th, with the bases loaded, Jurickson Profar, at least he hit a slow enough ground ball that avoided a double play and let a run score, and Atlanta took a 6-5 lead. Problem is, top of the 7th, that 1 run, Baltimore was able to tie it. This game went 10 innings, and that's where Montero comes into play. I don't understand why, when the teams start with a runner on second, why you want to intentionally walk the first batter of the 10th inning every single time. Every single time. Now here's why. The inning starts with your ghost runner on second. Montero came in, and the first batter, he was really good pitching it down. And he got a ground ball to second for 1 out. The runner moved to third. So now you have a guy on third, 1 out, that you got to somehow get your next 2 batters out on. If you intentionally walk the first guy and keep the ball down like you did, that's a double play. Now you have a guy on third with 2 outs, and you only got to figure out how to get 1 batter out. But the Braves don't do that. They go ahead and they let the run score on a double, and then they do the intentional walk. And by that time, Montero's all over the place. So they double in 2 more runs, and then they get a ground out and a strikeout. Now, if you're the Orioles, there's no way you actually do the intentional walk because you're up 3 runs and you don't want to put the tying run at the plate. That's obvious. However, I would put an intentional walk every single time if the game was tied in the 10th with the ghost runner and get the force out at third or a double play set up just to try and limit the damage that can be done. Just my opinion. What do I know? Sunday's game. Again, if you like a good pitching matchup, this is probably one you would have enjoyed. Grant Holmes was back on the mound. He went 6 innings, gave up 2 earned runs, 4 hits, 3 walks, 5 Ks, 1 home run. He threw 96 pitches in the 6 innings. He's got to get those outs a little quicker so he can get a little deeper into games, especially when you're coming off a bullpen game. But for Baltimore, Rogers, he went 6 2/3 inning, no runs, 4 hits, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. if you like pitching duels, and you know I do if you listen, this was a good game. Now, with that being said, the home run that Holmes gave up was a 2-run shot in the third. And the Braves offense, they were 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position and left 6 men on base. Their one run came in the bottom of the ninth on a home run from Murphy. Yeah, that's it. That's all they can manage. 1 run. Braves had 7 hits to Baltimore's 6, but they just can't do anything with runners in scoring position. It's becoming an absolute nightmare. An absolute nightmare. Okay, my weekly takeaways. In a must-win week, the Braves went 1-5. They took 1 game from the Angels, then they get swept by the Orioles. Can't even win a game against Baltimore. But then you have the runners in scoring position situation. Against the Angels, they were 0 of 7, left 9 men on base, 2 of 7, leaving 7. And then they had that nightmare of a game where they couldn't even get a runner in scoring position, left 6 men on base. They were 2 for 14, leaving 22 men on base in that series, which is an average of 142. Against the Orioles, they were 0 for 5 the first game, leaving 6 on. They were a little bit better that second game where they scored 6 runs. They were 3 for 12. They left 10 men on base that game. 10 men. Left 10 men on base in a game where they went extra innings. 1 more hit. That's all they needed. 1 more hit. They were 0 for 6 on Sunday, leaving 6 men on base. That's 3 for 23 on the series. Left 22 men on base on the series. That's a 130 average. So for the week, they were 5 of 37, leaving 44 men on base. It's a 135. They hit 135 this week with runners in scoring position. If these numbers continue, they're going to be bad. Don't get me wrong, they're already bad. As of this recording right now, and this is being recorded before all games are over on Sunday, they have more wins than 5 teams in baseball. 5 teams, that's it. And I don't know what the Pirates did today. I don't know if that's a final. But they're just 1 game behind. So that number might shrink. And then one of the teams, the Athletics, are 2 games behind. But that's where we head next. We head out to Sacramento to play the Athletics. And it's going to be an absolute nightmare. If they lose 3 games to them, there's going to be probably 3 teams will have less wins than the Braves. Is my prediction by the time we're here next week. Now, 2 of those teams, they'll never catch them. We are not Colorado or Chicago White Sox bad. But we're bad. Make no mistake about it. Next week, we'll talk about the Athletics and the Cardinals road trip. We go on a little road trip here right before the All-Star break. And it is a much-needed All-Star break. Acuna was named a starter. He won the fan vote to become a starter for the All-Star game. Probably well-deserved. He's going to be hitting in the home run derby. I don't usually like it when Braves participate in the home run derby because it messes up their swing, because they just swing different in that. This year, though, why not? It's in Atlanta. Go win the thing. We have no chance anyway. We got 0 chance. The good news, though, in 7 Saturdays, college football will be off and kicking, and I'll have something else to talk about. So we're all looking forward to that, I imagine, by now. I will have more information on that here in a few weeks, but in 7 Saturdays, college football does start, and I cannot be more excited about that. For now, like, subscribe, comment, have something you want me to talk about, email me, buckysportsshow@gmail.com. We'll be back next week talk about athletics and Cardinals. Hang in there. As always, enjoy the games and go Braves!